Hey everybody, so today I am doing a tier list ranking 17 different movies from Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney Channel. These movies are all movies that are based off of TV shows because anybody who knows me or watches this channel knows that even though I grew up with these networks, I never really cared much for the movies just because I'm not a movie person. I always loved the TV shows though. And I only really watched the movies if they were based off of a TV show. So I thought it would be a fun idea to rank them because I haven't seen a lot of people do that yet. Also, keep in mind that I only included the ones that I've watched because if I haven't seen it, I don't think it's fair for me to rank it, you know? And if a franchise has multiple movies like SpongeBob, then I'm only going to include the one that I think is the best one and most impactful. Is there another disclaimer that I should probably say? Oh, for some of these shows, the line between if it's a movie or not is kind of blurry. I know, especially back in the day, whenever a TV show had like a 1 hour special, a lot of times it was advertised as a movie when it really wasn't. It was just a 1 hour special. So I'm not including 1 hour specials. However, I am including 3 part specials that were aired as one long event and were advertised as movies. And I'll talk about that more when we come across that because it only happens a few times on this list. All right, let's get started. So here I have my 5 tiers that I named myself. We'll go from top to bottom. So the top is iconic. I don't think I need to describe that. It's just like perfection, 10 out of 10, amazing, no comments, just perfect. A good time is a movie that, while it's not infinitely iconic or top tier, it was still a good watch and I had fun and I enjoy rewatching it whenever it happens and whenever it occurs. And I have fond memories of it. Plot problems. So this category is interesting because all of these are movies that are based off of TV shows, and this category is technically for the movies that I feel struggled really hard to adapt like the characters and the setting into a movie format. You know, maybe they struggled with the runtime, maybe they just felt themselves being stretched too thin, whatever the problem is. That's what that category is for. Okay, was it necessary? This category I also feel is pretty self-explanatory. It's just, we could have lived without it. And then rubbish. I didn't want to say garbage because I felt like that was like too rude. And rubbish is just like the British way of saying garbage, and it's just a little nicer in my opinion. But yeah, it's just like complete dumpster fire, should never exist. You get the idea. All right, so let's start here with 2002's The Powerpuff Girl movie. So I'm gonna put it in plot problems. And here's why. So, the Powerpuff Girls, from what I understand, was Cartoon Network's most popular animated TV show at the time, possibly of all time. And they really did struggle with trying to adapt the TV show and bringing their audience from the TV show onto the movie screen because this movie was a huge failure. Like, in a commercial sense. Like, because even though I enjoy rewatching it from time to time, I was going to put it in a good time, but I put it in plot problems because this bit off more than it could chew with the whole movie thing. It didn't rake in as much money as they thought that it would. A lot of people have said that they didn't like that the movie was like a prequel story. Like, we already know how the Powerpuff Girls were created and we knew how they came to be because it's in the theme song, so we didn't need the movie explaining that. Even though I do like the movie, I do think that it struggled really hard trying to adapt to the movie format. So yeah, the Powerpuff Girls movie goes into plot problems. Okay, the Lizzie McGuire movie, 2003. A good time, honestly. So, my background with Lizzie McGuire is that I rarely watched the original show to begin with. In like my childhood growing up, I've probably seen like 1 or 2 episodes, I hung out a lot with my older cousins and they'd babysit me often. And because of them, I was exposed to a lot of like things from the past, like older shows and movies and music, which I'm really thankful for that they helped me learn about that because I love all that stuff. So I feel like because like the movie was good, it was great, I love it. But because I was never invested into these characters, because I rarely watched the original show, to me personally, it just wasn't like iconic like that because I didn't know a lot about these characters. Also, Miranda wasn't in it, so. But the movie did give us what dreams are made of, which that is iconic. Yes, I will say that. Okay, Even Stevens movie. I'm gonna put it here with Lizzie McGuire. I do think it's a good time. Unlike Lizzie McGuire, I actually did watch all of Even Stevens, and I did make a video about it also. Um, I like the show. I think that it translated really well from a TV show to a movie. It was good for what it was. Like, I liked it. But I do like that in the movie, they took the dynamic of Ren and Lewis always fighting and having that sibling rivalry, and they took it over the top to where Ren was pushed to her limit by Lewis, and everybody thought that she pushed him off a cliff. And not good that she did that, but good that like the movie explored like the extremes of each character and pushed the characters to their extremes, which a movie should do. A good movie should do. Okay, the Proud Family movie. Um, I don't know if it's iconic. Again, I'm just gonna put it in a good time. Actually, hang on. Was it necessary? Like, it wasn't bad. They didn't have problems, but I don't know if it was necessary either. Because with cartoon shows, they don't necessarily need to have a finale. They can just end on any random episode. I don't know. I'll just put it in a good time. The Proud Family, they go on vacation. It's all about Penny trying to grow up and her strict father. So yeah. Kim Possible movie, So the Drama. Um, we're gonna put her in iconic. Yes. Kim Possible, So the Drama. So this is where I was talking about how like a three-part special was considered a movie, even though it was like kind of part of the TV show itself. But I like Kim Possible, So the Drama. They had a they redid the intro for the movie, which I liked. It was iconic. We saw Kim defeat Draken finally, and Draken finally acknowledged that Ron Stoppable existed and that he knew his name. Oh yeah, and Kim and Ron kiss. So that was a perfect way to end the franchise too, in my opinion. They went out with a bang. I loved it. Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo, 2006. Oh, I forgot to mention when the Kim Possible movie was, and the Proud Family movie. Those were both in 2005, Kim and Proud. But Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo was 2006. Because most of these movies I've watched in my childhood and I rewatch them from time to time. But I think the Teen Titans movie is probably one of the movies on this list that I've seen the least. Or maybe I just remember the least about it. Was it necessary? I mean, it did confirm Robin and Starfire's relationship. Did they need to go to. I don't know. Because I'm sure if I rewatch it now, it'll be great. I watched it last year. I just don't know how every time I see it, I just forget the plot instantly. There were no plot problems. Was it a good time? I don't know, because I think I'd remember if it was a good time. I'll just put it in was it necessary, because I just don't recall many of the plot details. Okay, I go to Japan. So this one was also another three-part special that was advertised as a movie. And iCarly is probably the most notorious show for marketing so many 1 hour special episodes as an iCarly movie, and even though it's not like a movie, but I do consider I Go to Japan the iCarly movie, and part of it is because it actually is a 3 part special and not like not an hour long special. Also, another part is after I Go to Japan, the trajectory of the iCarly TV show changed a lot. Like the show was popular during its first season, but after I Go to Japan aired in the beginning of season 2, the show became like infinitely more popular and their viewership like doubled pretty much. So, I Go to Japan, um is it iconic though? Yeah, we'll put her an icon. Okay, Drake, Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, 2008. Oh, iCarly, I Go to Japan was also 2008. I keep forgetting to list the years. Okay, so Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh was one of 2 movies that Drake and Josh had. They also had Drake and Josh Go to Hollywood, but I felt like Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh was the better of the 2 and the more impactful of the 2. And it also had a better story, in my opinion. It was nice and sweet because these characters, they're brothers and they fought a lot, and a lot of times you didn't sense the love between them. But them helping that family during Christmas time and working together, even though they were kind of forced to do it, it was still sweet. So I'll put it in a good time. Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie. Iconic. Iconic. No other words. That is how you do a TV movie based on a TV show. Hannah Montana, the movie. Also iconic. Fabulous. The Sweet Life movie. I'm torn between was it necessary and rubbish. Was it necessary? I do think that at a point in time there was a demand for the Sweet Life movie, but by the time it actually came out, I don't think that it needed to be out. Because the Sweet Life, both the Sweet Life, because the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody started in 2005 and ended in 2008. And then the spin off series or sequel series, The Sweet Life on Deck, started in 2008 and ended in 2011. And the same year that it ended, 2011, was the same year that the Sweet Life movie came out. And by then, so many people who were original fans of the original show were not watching The Sweet Life on Deck. Like they probably aged out of Disney. So I don't think that it was necessary, especially at the time that it came out. If it came out like maybe in 2007 or 2008, then maybe like towards the end of the original series, then maybe it would have been a better thing. Or what if they just scrapped the Sweet Life on Deck TV show altogether and just made that a movie instead? Anyways, so was it necessary? No. Was it rubbish? I don't know. Because I want to reserve rubbish for like the worst movie on this list. So we'll just put it in was it necessary for now. Okay, Phineas and Ferb, the movie, Across the Second Dimension. We'll put you in iconic. I honestly believe that Phineas and Ferb has the most creativity out of any Disney or Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network show of all time. Like, the writers, the creators, over 8 years on the original show, 2 TV movies, and then they came back this year with even more. And all that music too. So, yeah, I love Phineas and Ferb, the whole franchise. And I think that the team working behind that show is one of the most creative out of any team that I've ever seen. Okay, Good Luck Charlie, It's Christmas. Iconic or a good time? I'll put you in iconic. That's how you do a family Christmas movie. I don't know about you, but Good Luck Charlie is Christmas is a tradition in my family every Christmas. Um, we love the original show, and I think that they did the movie really, really well. Okay, here we are. Big Time Movie 2012. Again, I'm torn between Rubbish and Was It Necessary? Because I'm comparing it to the Sweet Life movie, because they were both bad and both like pretty unwatchable, but at least Big Time Movie had music and a somewhat interesting plot. Okay, I'll put it in Was It Necessary? And then I'll put the Sweet Life movie in Rubbish. Because between the two, I would rather watch, even though they're both bad, I would rather watch the Big Time movie than the Sweet Life movie. But yeah, the Big Time movie, I don't think it was necessary. I get why they did it and why they did it when they did it. Because they did the movie in between season 2 and 3, like right in the middle of the series' run, when it was its most popular. So the timing was right. It's just like, it was necessary, so I have to move it up. I'm just putting it in plot problems because if they had changed the plot to the Big Time movie, then I think it would have been a lot better. The British thing was interesting though. Yeah, I think if they changed a few things about the Big Time movie's plot, it could have been better. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Honestly, I'm gonna put it in a good time. A lot of people consider the SpongeBob movie to be the end of like the golden age of SpongeBob. And also it gave us some pretty interesting memes, just like the first 3 seasons of the show. I don't think it's iconic for me personally, just because I don't go back and rewatch it all that often. But I do quote it a lot. Or at least the quotes stay in my head rent free. Alright, Shake It Up, Made in Japan, 2012. So this one was another 3-part special that I was like on the fence of whether or not to include on this list. But I was just like, hey, if I'm including I Go to Japan, then I have to include Made in Japan, you know? Honestly, a good time. Shake It Up, I always felt like it was the type of show where they were so close to being iconic. Like, imagine that iconic is here, and then there's like a thin glass barrier, and then Shake It Up is like right under here, and it's like basically clawing to be iconic. And it was so close to being like Wizards of Waverly Place or Hannah Montana or Good Luck Charlie, like those shows. But it just kept falling short. And further example of this, like if you think that I'm just like making this up, Shake It Up was supposed to get its own official movie, just like Hannah, just like Wizards, just like Good Luck Charlie. But due to the show not being like a breakout success, like it was popular, but it wasn't Hannah Montana or Wizards or Good Luck Charlie popular. It wasn't even as popular as Jessie or Austin and Ally. But anyways, they were supposed to get their own official movie, but because the show wasn't as popular as those other shows, the movie was scrapped down to a TV special. So that's what we got with Made in Japan. Okay, and then last but not least, we have Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie from 2017. It wasn't rubbish. Was it necessary? Yes, because we did find out that like what happened to Arnold's parents, so we needed that conclusion. Plot problems. Because I haven't seen this movie in a long time, it's just not as memorable to me. We'll just put her in a good time for now. Okay. Okay, so this is my tier list. Real quick, I'm gonna go through the list and just make sure, just move a few things around in case I changed my mind. Is the Kim Possible movie iconic? Yes. Don't you remember the meme we got of Kim standing on top of that platform with her hair flowing in the wind, and it's raining, and then she does that smirk that she just like saved the world? I Go to Japan. Yes, it's iconic because it changed the trajectory of iCarly. turning it from a show with average viewership to a show that was dominating in the ratings in a way that I've never seen before. And I Go to Japan was really the start of all of that. And I Party with Victorious was the end of all of that. Low key. Hannah Montana the movie, yes, 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 yes. Okay. Good Time. Lizzie McGuire, yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. The Powerpuff Girls movie and Big Time movie. These two, I feel like, are some of the saddest cases of a TV show turned into a movie because I felt like they both had the potential to be really, really good, especially considering that so many people loved the original shows. But I just feel like the story that they chose for the movie format was just not it. Like they should have went with a different story for both of these movies. And then maybe it would have been better, in my opinion. Okay, the Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. I don't think that the movie was necessary because from what I remember, the TV show wrapped up everything pretty neatly. I could be mistaken. And I wouldn't even know because Teen Titans is not available to watch on streaming on HBO Max anymore. Which is one of the reasons I even got that app in the first place. So I can watch Cartoon Network shows, but that's not there, so. And yeah, the Sweet Life movie is rubbish. Not only was it not necessary, especially when it came out, like 2011 was way too late for a Sweet Life movie. That should have happened in 2007 or 2008. But yeah, it was also rubbish because it just featured the twins fighting all the time and the plot was ridiculous. Like the Big Time movie plot was ridiculous, but at least it somewhat made sense. But the Sweet Life movie was just about some secret government facility trying to control twins and everything. And it was just too far-fetched, especially for a show like The Sweet Life. If this was the plot for the Lab Rats movie, then it would have made sense, but it didn't make sense for the Sweet Life franchise. Alright, so that's my tier list for movies based off of TV shows. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let me know what your rankings are. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Alright? Take care.